Hey guys, welcome to Janine's Gluten-Free Kitchen. I am Janine and this is the Gluten-Free Kitchen, and today we're making you a muesli bar slice, an absolute favourite of pretty much anybody who tries it. So I'm keen to share that with you, so please stick around. If you are new to this channel, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you haven't subscribed, now is your chance so you don't miss out on any notifications of our upcoming videos. And if you're returning, thank you for the continued support. Let's get into making this muesli bar slice. Now, what's great about this slice is you don't have to do much hard work. The food processor does it for you. So we have one food processor, reasonable sized bowl, and we have a bunch of nuts and seeds and fruit and honey and all sorts of stuff. You'll find the ingredients down below. First things first, throw your almonds in, and these are the hardest things to make small. So they're going to go on their own first. Warning, this is very loud. A little bit more. So the idea is to get the almonds just a little bit smaller, because now we're going to add our pecans and give it a bit more of a whiz. Pecans being softer doesn't need as much time. Okay, now the thing about nuts in a bar is the finer that you make it, the softer and smoother the bite will be. If you leave them more coarse, it's going to be crunchier and more roasted. Yeah, it's just going to be a firmer bar. So we've done them just so that they're kind of somewhere in between. Going to throw in our mixed seeds. Now we've got 4 different types of seeds. And the 4 seeds we're going to use are pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and chia seeds. We've got some gluten-free oats, which is an important part of the whole muesli package. We've got some yummy coconut. Now I have not used moist coconut because moist coconut has sugar added to it, and we don't want to add any white sugar. Where we're going to get our sweetness from is some dried cranberries, which are tart as well, and some honey. Now the honey I have below gives a reasonably sweet bar, but you can put in less. Just a heads up though, if you eliminate it completely, your bar won't hold as well, because it relies on the texture of the honey to keep the bar together as it caramelizes in the oven. So if you don't mind it a little bit crumbly, go ahead and omit it. I have some avocado oil, which will help roast it and give it that gorgeous brown. We've got some fresh vanilla powder for flavor. And the final ingredient is a couple of eggs, which will help bind it. Now, knowing what we know about eggs, it's going to have to be refrigerated, stored, because it's got the eggs. Now all we're doing is just bringing it all together. We're not trying to cut it, we're not trying to make it smaller, we're literally just combining the ingredients. That's all it needs. See what I mean by easy? Okay. Wrong way. Let's put this aside and get our tray that we prepared earlier. It's a fairly large rectangle pan, and we've got some baking paper or parchment paper, and we are going to put our mix in. And now we're going to smooth it out and make sure that it covers the tray. What I like to do is just spread it around first to make sure that it's evenly distributed. Don't forget those corners. And then once you're happy with it being all in the same distribution, then give it a good squash down. And it does need to be squashed down. Otherwise, when you go to cut it afterwards, it'll just crumble. So you want it to be nice and compressed. There you have it. See how lovely and smooth and compressed that is? Now we're going to throw that in the oven until it's nice and brown, about 30 minutes. So our muesli bar is cooled down for about 5 to 10 minutes it was, and I'm just lifting it out of the tray. And you can see we've got a nice golden colour, and that will ensure that it's nice and crispy. Now, if you don't like it crispy, you can just cook it for less till it's just a light golden colour, and then it'll be a bit more chewy. Now, I do recommend that you cut your slice before it is fully cooled, because the more this slice cools, the harder it becomes, and then it becomes nearly impossible to cut. So make sure you got yourself a nice sharp knife and go through and cut it to the size that you want. I think the main thing is just to go nice and slow. Voila. Now I can feel the heat, it's still quite warm in the center of the bar, so we want to let that cool fully to room temperature before we store it. Otherwise the steam will collect in the container and make it soggy. We do not want that. These are the slices, and you can see that they're golden brown all the way through. Pretty yummy, and when they're cooled down completely, they are super crunchy and delicious. So let that cool completely before we store it. So little tips before I finish up. If you want to replace your nuts, you absolutely can. Now, almonds are a hard nut, so you want to replace it with an alternative hard nut such as hazelnuts. The pecans are a softer nut, so you could replace it with something like walnuts or macadamias. And finally, the fruit that you put in, I do recommend that you choose a fruit that's a little bit tangier or a little bit tart. It helps offset the oiliness of the nuts and also the sweetness of the honey. So things like cranberries, cherries, blueberries, golden Inca berries as well. Super yummy in this. Or just omit them all together if you don't want any fruit. It's perfectly okay. Guys, final thing, you could also replace your honey with maple syrup. So I hope you have enjoyed that. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you. Please hit the like. We love to hear from you and to know what you're feeling about these recipes. It helps build our channel up so that we can keep bringing these to you. And same, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's your opportunity so that you keep getting notifications of our new videos. It's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy that. It's super yummy, and let us know if you make it. Take care. Bye. Everybody who loves it, see, just everybody who loves it. Sharing it with you today. Now do it again. So make sure you